And here we have the latest addition to Ballinabricky. This is not going to make an appearance in the town until after the storyline, after the current storyline, which will be entitled The Dead. But this is going to be the new courthouse, since the renovation of the town hall eliminated the old one. That was too small. Most of the offices were too small to really be used for purposes of the comic strip. So this kind of needed to happen here. So we have the building, we have our little cupola dome and the flag and a couple of statues out front, which I'll give you a close-up. I have not yet outfitted this one with LEDs, but the switch for the LEDs will be right there when they eventually make their appearance. So here we have a statue of Daniel O'Connell, who was known as the Emancipator and also as the Liberator, so that's what that says. If that's too blurry, Daniel O'Connell, 1775 to 1847. Liberator, Emancipator, and he was responsible for finally achieving Catholic emancipation in Ireland. So that was the restoration of civil rights for Catholics. We have over here, with her Irish inscription, Justice. She has her scales and her sword, and so those are the two statues. Now, let's just get rid of the sidewalk and the portion of the street over here. I had to use a few interesting techniques for architecture, which I was very happy with the way that they came out. So the dome is part of that, and the columns and pediment were part of that too. I had to get a little creative with an indentation there in the roof, but I'm also kind of happy with the way that came out, because the way I originally designed it, I think it would have been boring looking. So then in here, this is all hollow, and in here is where the batteries and the switch and the wiring and the holes are eventually going to go for the LEDs. So let's take off our roof and take a look inside. Some of these things thematically are the same as in the old courthouse. So behind the judge we have the picture of the birth of the Irish nation, which is the principal actors in the burning GPO during the 1916 Easter Rising. Let's turn this around because it's going to come out. Up here we have the gallery, so people can come and watch the proceedings, even though they really wouldn't be able to see all that much going on down there. I could only make the building so large. Had to do some research into the Irish justice system and the way that the courthouses are laid out, because they're different than American courthouses. We have our signs indicating that people should be quiet. Okay, and now we'll take a little look inside. So going in through the double doors and around the columns would show you a sign indicating that the public gallery is up those stairs, and the little chains to kind of keep people from going in places where they shouldn't. The public gallery can be removed in one piece to get in there. And we actually have accommodations for a 12-man jury box. So here we have our 12 people who are sitting in the jury, and the proclamation of the Irish Republic. There is Judge Lynch, and the fire chief is giving his testimony. Near the stairs is the same guy who is Deacon Jones. I'll have to come up with a good first name, but his job in life is as the tipstaff, which in the United States would be called the court clerk. And here we have someone who is the court stenographer, and she has her little steno machine there. The tables all have these dark red tablecloths on them. We have the new police officer, who I'm also got to come up with a name for him, who is serving as the bailiff, and there is the accused in the dock. And over here we have, I made this so that I could more easily drop the wall to get in there and show. We have our prosecution and our rather shifty looking defense barristers, and in a full-scale Irish courtroom there would also be solicitors who kind of handle the paperwork for the main lawyers. They're on the team and they would sit facing those guys, but this is a small operation here, so these guys kind of handle their own paperwork. And that is the new courthouse. That will serve in Ballinabricky hereafter.